Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio and welcome back. Today we're going to do a little journal with me video, and I'm going to be making some ephemera for this little journal that I'm working on. I had mentioned this one in my flip through of the finished journal that I posted yesterday, but if you have not watched that video, basically what I did is, and I'll take this out so I can show you, I wanted to try, and so far it has worked out really cute. I took a bunch of just muslin, and I cut some pages, this wide, this tall, out of muslin. And then once I got as many pages as I wanted, I sewed them. Yes, I sewed them on the sewing machine to get my pages on the journal. And then the next thing I did is I took cardstock and I put on the fronts and the backs of each page. And I used matte gel medium for that, and that turned out really well. And so now what I have basically is two pieces of cardstock with a piece of muslin in between. I left everything all stringy and frayed because, we're going for the grunge look. And I sprayed everything with coffee, inked it up, all that kind of stuff, and it's now all dry. So what I have is ink on the back of that. That's not good, but it's going to be covered anyway, so I'm not going to sweat it too bad. And then I just took some old coffee dyed lace and wrapped around the edges. For the cover, this is an old typewriting manual, and they're normally like this and flip up like this. If you're old enough to have had a typing class, you know that the books, flipped up so that you could put the cover behind and you'd have whatever lesson, setting up on your little book holder thing. So I cut this down to make a cover, and I turned this sideways because I wanted this to be left. And then I just took a piece of the extra and made a spine, and then made the back. And then this is the actual inside of what the book looked like. That's why this one is turned this way, because normally it would be, facing up. And then I put 2 eyelets in with a piece of elastic to hold my signature. And you just, go to your center and lift the elastic, and you put it in there in the center, and it makes a really tight fit, and then you've got a book. So that's how I've gotten this far, and as you can see, it's going to be pretty grungy, which is going to be pretty awesome. So overall, I'm really happy with the way that this turned out, with the fabric in between. And you guys may have seen this before. I have never seen anyone do it, but I'm sure that somebody has. So, yeah, if you have some fabric that you like, then, yeah, I feel like definitely it will work. Now, I have not pressed this under anything or anything like that. So probably what I'll do is overnight tonight set it under some heavy books so that it'll finish flattening out the pages. But overall they're pretty flat. I mean, there's a little bit of wave, but I think once they completely dry, because I just finished it this morning, you know, I think it'll lay pretty flat. And this is Tim Holtz fabric washi here. And the inside has some 49 and Market fabric washi on it. So that's where we got to this. So what we're going to do today is I want to make my first little pocket that's going to go down in here. I've already made, I had made this previously and I just haven't used it on anything yet. So I am going to use this little die cut. This was very time consuming, but I think it turned out really cute. It's basically just, the die cut is Tim Holtz, of course, and it's cut out of black cardstock. And then I embossed it to give it, you know, some kind of a grit on there. And then I went over that with some distress crayons just to give it a more aged kind of rusted look, and then put a little piece of fabric in here and, you know, pin that on there, and then added these embellishments. And this was the most time consuming, is adding all these little brads and in the typewriter keyholes, and then banging them down with a hammer so they're more flat. But I think it turned out really cute. I just haven't decided where I want to put it yet. I originally thought I wanted to put it on the cover, but I don't think I want to cover up where it's this writing. So I don't think I'm going to do anything on the cover, except I'd like to find a black piece of ribbon or sari silk or something to use for the closure, because so it'll look like a typewriter ribbon wrapped around it. So that's my idea for that. So maybe what I'll do is put this in the center. It would look really good right there with something else, you know, a little something else behind it. So maybe that's an option, but we'll see. But what we're going to do today is make a pocket. I'm going to make my first pocket. And I just went through my stash to find stuff that I thought would look good and would fit in with these colors. And I'm going to decide what page I'm going to put it on. Maybe this one. Or do I want to put it over here and bring... Let's put it here. So let's plan on this being where the pocket is. Okay, and this is just standard pocket. I just cut it and, you know, angled the corners. And I did gusset this one because I've got like 3 different things I want to put in the back of it. So I guess the first thing I want to do is, pardon my reach, is cut us a little hole in here. Okay, and ink that up. And I'm going to actually use hickory smoke to ink this. And let me get a fresh dauber back here. We'll use this one. It's got foam on it. because I don't want it to be, most of my daubers are of course, brown of some sort. Now, you do have to be careful, I will say, when you are scoring Tim Holtz papers, which is what this is, because it did crack. And, so be really careful if you score his papers. Okay, so that's going to be our pocket that's going to go on there. So to decorate it, I've got, this is a top to a typewriter ribbon that I actually have the whole tin for. Typewriter ribbons used to come in tins, and this is the lid, and I just ran a photocopy of it. I have another one up here that I made. Excuse me. This is another one, and it actually has my little button journal in it. But they have two different kinds. They have the kind that are shaped like this, and the ribbon would have been down in there on the spool. I'll put my button back in there. And then they have this kind, and this kind, you know, is taller. I didn't bring the whole tin over here, or I'd show you, but it's taller, and it has the smaller spools. So I have several of those because I love old typewriters, or anything really to do with old office machinery and stuff like that. So I'm going to put that on there. That's going to be kind of my main focal point. And then I made these letters, and I just took some black cardstock and my little circle punch, and first I'm going to put them on here. You might be able to see them better. The first thing I did was stamp them with embossing powder, and I embossed them in white. And then after I did that, I put the embossing pad on them again, and I embossed them with clear. And then I stamped them out with a circle punch, to make them look like typewriter keys. And I wish those were a little more aged up looking. They kind of look too white. Let's do, what do we want to do? I just tried to do them with vintage photo. We may need to get some oh, that's okay. That's better. Okay. We'll leave it like that for now. Okay, so those are going to be on there in some shape or fashion. And then for my cards that are going to go behind, I have this, which is a Tim Holtz stamp. And I just stamped it on cardstock. I'm going to ink up the edges on it. And I actually wouldn't care to do the gray and a brown. So let's do gray, and then let's do that too. And then for a topper, I'm going to put this little Tim Holtz kind of typewriter key, you know, that's on the inside of the typewriter. And I'm hoping the tiny attacher is going to go through that. And it did. Okay, so that's going to be one of our cards. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put a library index card because it's typed. And my idea for this journal is, this is a writer's journal. You know, that would write novels with an old typewriter kind of thing. So it's going to be very industrial as far as, you know, with all the numbers and stuff like that. But it's also going to have, you know, a more softer side, I guess, is you would, best way that I can think of to put it right now. In that it's going to be, you know, there'll be some handwritten stuff in here too, and you know, notes like an author would make or whatever. So we're going to put this in there, and I think the only thing that I'm going to do to that is I'm going to put this little paper clip on here. That's a Tim Holtz thing. And, whoops, sorry, my little stapler fell over on my glass mat. And then I found this in my photos, and it is an actual photo from 1953. And the main reason that I'm going to put this in here is because, do you see this old telephone? I just think that's too cool. So I'm going to use the decal trimmer and trim around the edges. At least the top and the sides. I'm probably not going to do anything to the bottom because I don't want to disturb that date that's down there, and it's pretty close to the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to use Vintage Photo around it to yellow it up a little bit. Even though it's pretty yellow already. I mean, you can imagine it's from the 50s. And I think because this here looks like it has an old piece of tape, I think I'm going to tear this a little bit and then tape it back together with my old tape. If I can figure out what I did with it. There it is. Everything's stuck to it. if I can get a piece off. I thought that I was being really good using this kind of backing. It's just like a piece of plastic or a piece of, you know, like acrylic or, yeah, acrylic, I guess. And I'm telling you what, I can't hardly peel this tape off here. So, yeah, next time I'll go back to use, normally I use like wax paper or something like that, but it has really bound itself. There we go. Alright, so let's just put this back together like we mended it. I mean, we are mending it, but you know what I mean. Just to make it look a little more grungy. I'm going to bend these corners a little bit too. Alright, so there's that card. I'm wondering, should I think I'll bend these just a little. And this one as well, because it's definitely not old. I just made it. Alright, so we're going to put this down in here. I might need to put another staple in that so it doesn't slide around. Okay, and then we got this in here. And then we got our little guys in here. So it's just going to be basically like a little loaded pocket. And I feel like something needs to go up there too. And then we've got our little ribbon, and we've got our XYZ. And I've got a quote that says, the worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt. And that is Sylvia Plath who said that. So I thought I would put this on there somewhere. I don't know, I may put that down the side of this picture. Yeah, I think I will. So I'm going to use some art glitter glue. Should be good and flowing. I just filled it back up. And like I said, there's no, I mean, the telephone and just the kind of vintage office-y looking area that they're in is the only reason I picked that. Alright, so now we need to figure out how we're going to finish off this pocket. And I'm thinking maybe putting some of this Do I have a smaller piece? I hate to. Oh, for my stamps, these are the stamps I use. The stamp set that I got in Germany for the number or letters, typewriter keys. So they're just little wooden stamps. I didn't want to have to tear this big piece if I didn't have to. I like that. Maybe I'll use some of that. I got all my little scraps over to the side here that I have left over from cutting my pages. And I just hate to use this big piece that could be used, you know, these big pieces that could be used for something else. But I definitely want something behind that. I could use some book page. This is like really old book page, so it's really brittle. Take just a tad more off. Okay, I think that'll work. So let's glue this down. Then I think I will use some little pop dots or something and raise those letters up just a little bit. Let's see. sticking to my fingers. Alright, so now let's see if we can find a stamp or something to go on there. And ooh, I might do this with the gray so it kind of looks like ink. Is it going to be dark enough? Okay, like that. And then I feel like I need a couple more black elements so those letters don't feel like they're is in your face, you know. Maybe a postage stamp and then a cancellation. Color stamps I got over here. Oh look, this says telephone. May have to use that too. I think I have that. I know that's a number 1, but it kind of looks like a label, doesn't it? If you turn it to the side. There is a stamp that's got a telephone number too. Maybe I should stamp that on a black label. I don't know if I can find that stamp quick enough. My stamps are in a disarray because all the ones I use all the time are just kind of over here. In very bad shape. Not in bad shape, just very disorganized. Because I dig them all out and then I don't want to put them all up because I'm like, I'm just going to dig them back out again. There's one that says workroom. There it is. Oh, that was much easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so let's put, oh, I need that. Oops, see, I just dropped one on the floor. I'm gonna have to get it. Alright, so now let's get a black label. I have one in here. Blank one. I have to go through and reorganize my book because I dropped it in the floor yesterday, and when I did, everything went everywhere out of my little compartments. It's a mess now. It's not quite wide enough. Not because it has to be black. I just don't have any other colors going on. Could do a red with black ink. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. All right. So for the telephone, make sure it's going to stamp good. We're going to put on this red label. And then we're going to put Workroom 220 on the top of this photo. Make sure that's going to work good. Should. We'll have to be sure and let that dry before we touch it. And then I'm going to cut this down. Sorry guys, I know I'm off screen, but I gotta get it close enough that I can see it, unfortunately. Ink that up. I think I'm gonna put that right there. I think I'm just gonna staple it. Our picture's got our little Workroom 220 on there. And then let's see if we can find a red stamp. Wrong book. think that'll work. That's going to make me need one more red thing. And I'm going to stamp this in black. My glue is bubbling because it's so full. Maybe I can get a little something and stick it up under there, like maybe one of the little airmail things or something red, just a little red thing. A little red thing. I have a little red thing. Enclosure. Don't want it on his eye. Move it down. Oh, look, I smeared it. Oh no. All right. Lesson learned. Oh, it's not going to stick on there at all. And that was our archival. Okay, so we're going to put this on here. And then we're going to take the workroom. There's always a solution, guys. I mean, you can see, you can't even tell that that was even stamped. Maybe we don't need it, but I was thinking we needed another. Something black. Let me put these back in here and see. God, it's taking me forever to make one pocket. One pocket. No, I think it's okay. I'm going to leave it like that, guys. So, if we go back to the journal page that we decided, move all my stuff out of the way here so we can see what's going on. That it was going to go on, which is black. Forgot about that, so I think we're going to be good. Then it will go here. Oh, and I'm glad I didn't use that flower to paper either because it's already there. Yeah, I think that's cute. So there we go. There's our first little pocket. And like I said, I'm going to decide where to put this, I think. That I'm probably going to put it in the middle because it's so bulky. Although it looks pretty good right there, doesn't it? But let me know what you guys think about the journal. And let me know if you try it. I hope you do. I'm not going to glue this down yet because I want to make sure all the pages are completely dry before I do. But yeah, let me know what you think. And I will see you guys back tomorrow for Color Combo 2023. So until then, everybody have a good evening. And I'll see you back then. Bye.